All right, ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is. It is 1 o'clock. It is time for more Fire Force. But pardon me because I am currently looking something up that can help me better remember these Roman numerals because, we don't get like the usual chapter numbers. We get it all in Roman numerals, but I think I got the gist of it. Let me see. That is 70. 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78. Okay, all right. I think I got the gist of it. So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Yo, peoples! Kyushu92 here, and welcome back to yet another live reading of Fire Force. Today we are going to be checking out Volume 9 of the series, titled Into the Abyss. So, we got chapters 70 all the way to 78. If my Roman numerals is right. Holster, it's good to see you, man. But let me go ahead and, hold on. Let me make sure that this is current. It should be. Yeah, it should be. We got a summary. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure that chat was operating correctly for today's stream. It is. Summary! After deducing that the White-Clad are hiding out in the Nether, Company 8 and their new engineer Vulcan decide to launch an attack. However, the enemy uses their powers to separate the team, and each member of the company is forced to confront the white-clad soldiers alone. Now, Obi and Vulcan find their path blocked by Dr. Giovanni and Lisa. So the chapters we have, as I said before, is chapter 70 all the way to 78. Chapter 70, To Protect. And we have the 5th Angels 3 talking to Hibana.
Company 8 will be arriving at the Nether right about now. Company 8 will be arriving at the Nether about now. Company 5 is on standby and very relieved.
And then Hibana goes,
I couldn't care less about Company 8, but I'm interested to know how things are in the Nether. Report any information as soon as you get it. Roger. 5th Angels 3 out. ×3.
And then it shows Hibana, because she's sitting on a chair made of other dudes. Like, they're all positioned in a way to be like this very big chair for her, and she's just sitting on one, and she's pinching the arm of two dudes who are holding their arms out for a literal arm rest. And she's pinching the arm of the dude going,
ow, 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 ow.
And then Hibana's thinking,
Company 8 are canaries in another coal mine. Be careful down there, Obi.
Because remember, we saw Captain Hibana in the Nether, but clearly it wasn't her, if she is all the way back at her own company. But we have Obi and Vulcan versus Dr. Giovanni and Lisa.
Lisa. All wrapped up in the bunker gear of your detested fire soldiers. You look like a fool, Vulcan.
And you look good in anything.
You hate the fire soldiers' guts. What's so important that you would become one of them and follow them underground?
That's a stupid question. I came here to see you. Duh. And then Lisa starts blushing. What's the matter, Feeler? Who was it that gave you a home? Who was it that took the filthy, ignorant cat under his wing and taught her everything? I'm the one who taught you how to handle fire and how to handle men. You only got close to Vulcan by using everything I taught you. Vulcan only adopted you because of my teachings. Because you are a filthy, ignorant cat. And it shows Giovanni literally gaslighting her. Do you need more education? Get your hands off, Lisa! And then Lisa has her, fire feelers pop up out of... Well, they don't pop out of the ground. Her whole lower torso just turns into a mass of fire tentacles.
Feeler. Of the Knights of the Ashen Flame. That is my real name.
That's right. Now protect me.
Yes.
This isn't right, Lisa!
Silence.
As she causes her one of her tentacles to go towards Vulcan and try to hit him, but he gets slapped away. And Vulcan is looking, and it's one of those little grenades that he's created. That is capable of dissipating flames. An iron Modillo? Gave her a home, taught her. Lisa-san is young. What's wrong with her not knowing stuff? I don't know what you taught her, but teaching the younger generation is what grown-ups do. She doesn't owe you anything, you old geezer. Then you are the ignorant one. Incompetent captain of Company 8. Call me what you want. You don't even know what the flames of spontaneous combustion really are. And that gets Obi's attention, because Obi's trying to find out the mystery behind spontaneous human combustion. You don't even know what the flames of spontaneous combustion really are. Our evangelist knows all. Why the spontaneous human combustion phenomenon is assaulting our world. What the true nature of the bugs that artificially ignite humans. The secret behind Shinra Kusakabe's Adola burst. Why we call it the flame of perdition. What happens to this world in the past? What happened to this world in the past? What is happening in this world in the present? The evangelist knows it all. And I won't share any of those teachings with you. And then Obi puts his mask down because, bruh's getting serious. Wow, turns out you actually are a bad teacher. You are an interesting man. Then there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and we go to another section. We go to another section of this mine.
Stay away from us!
And remember, this is Assault, who's there in front of Tamaki and Sister Iris. Latome, as Tamaki is getting reminded of Rekka Hoshimiya.
I don't like this.
And then Assault starts conjuring flame in his hands.
So, he is a third gen. He looks tough, but...
And then Tamaki uses her tail to try and swipe at him, but he's already underneath her, and then proceeds to hit her square in the shoulder. And then he tries to hit her with like this rod made of, this spike made of flame. And she just barely manages to arch her back so that the spike doesn't go through her side, but just curves right around her. Oh, if nothing else, I see you have high fire resistance. And then he gets more of those fire spikes. As Tamaki is still recovering, he throws them right where Tamaki is, but she manages to avoid it. And then we have Iris.
Are you all right? Stay back!
I have others to attend to today. And though you are enemies to the evangelists, I'm not fond of harassing women and children. I will make your deaths quick. As he makes more fire spikes. And then the whole area just starts to get engulfed in heat and flames. And then we go to a flashback. Are you sure you want to come with us, Tamaki? Technically, you're still in Company 1. I don't want to force you. And this is Obi speaking to Tamaki before they left.
It may be disciplinary, but right now It may be disciplinary, but right now
I understand why we get bloopers from dubbed anime.
It may be disciplinary, but right now I'm a member of Company 8.
I had to sound it out.
I want to be a part of your missions.
And then it shows Tamaki walking through the hallway. And then we get Shinra.
Hey, Tamaki, I heard you're going to the Nether with us. If you find yourself in trouble again, you can call me anytime.
And then Tamaki kind of blushes a little.
I'm a fire soldier too, you know. My job is to protect, not be protected.
And then Shinra's just smiling.
Now that you mention it, I guess you are a fire soldier. I'm wearing the same jumpsuit as you.
And then we get back to the present.
I'm a fire soldier too. I will protect you, Iris.
As Tamaki prepares to protect Iris and fight Assault. And that's the end of Chapter 70. Onwards to Chapter 71. And we're still with Assault and Tamaki. You see me before you, but you don't run. And me. Yeah, I literally had a Finding Nemo moment.
You see me before you, but you don't run. I commend your bravery.
And Tamaki just stares him down.
Crimson bullet!
And also, they're bullets. Fire bullets. Big fire bullets. Like arm length size bullets.
Crimson bullet!
And he fires it at Tamaki.
Don't underestimate me!
As she starts rushing towards Assault. Chapter 71, Tamaki versus Assault. And then the bullet fires, and Tamaki kind of jumps into the air before the explosion really hits her.
This will finish you. Goodbye.
And then Tamaki is falling towards Assault. And Tamaki is falling towards Assault, and her top just starts to slip off of her. And this catches Assault off guard. It makes his aim go off. And as she's falling, she gets pushed by the shockwave of the bullet exploding to the roof above her. And Assault goes, I missed. And as he still has his hand up, he gets a handful of Tamaki, who falls right on him, face first. And then Assault is kind of, like speechless as Tamaki tries to scramble to get off him, going,
Get off of me! Hey, my coat!
As she's trying to get off of him, her butt just slides directly into his face. And Assault can't deal with it.
Who is this girl? She's soft. Why must I be violated in this way? I am Assault the Slaughterer. She's so soft.
Assault, assassin of the abyss, humbly sets off. And then we have a flashback of Assault beating up numerous people.
Don't think ill of me.
Assault the bloody fire blast willingly sets off. And it shows him setting fire to an entire housing area. Assault sets off. Assault, and this is Yona. Setting off, right? Yes, I am off. Are you sure you're not gonna wipe out all of Company 8 on your own? My nature prevents me from holding back.
What do you think you're doing?
As Tamaki has slid all the way out of her pants. Her lucky lecture lure is ridiculous.
Yeah, I can't see in front of me, and it's drafty in back of me.
And Assault he literally mentally can't handle this.
This is off-putting.
And then Iris comes up right behind Assault with a big old pipe, and with all of her strength just proceeds to just bash him over the head with this pipe. And he's down on the ground. He's down.
Huh?
You will not put me off with such a paltry...
And then it shows Tamaki and Iris just beating on Assault. Fight back, Assault! Fight back! Fight back! Just beating him over the head until he is completely unconscious. And they both just go,
Hey!
As they, do their little happy gesture.
There, you see that, Kusakabe? I can protect people all by myself. Do you really want Shinra-san to have seen that? Oh, I mean, all's well that ends well.
And then Iris holds on to Tamaki.
I'm counting on you. It's pretty dark. You better stay close. I will.
And then it cuts to Hinawa, because remember, Hinawa's inside this fog and mist. I wonder why. I had Cyberpunk in my system is still going. You hate this gag so much, which is ironic because we'll see one of your favorite gags in this series eventually. See, I feel like your disdain for Tamaki's lucky lecture lure is pretty much on the same level of your disdain of the entire Davy Back section of One Piece. If that was you who said who didn't like that, or was that Kohagen? I'm trying to remember. But we cut to Hanawa stuck in this fog. And remember, he saw his old friend Tojo. The friend that went infernal. I see shadows, but I don't sense any real people. Are these those mirages again? First, I have to get out of this fog. And then it shows Hinawa walking through the fog into this abandoned subway platform. This is an underground railway station. The path going up is blocked, and this eerie fog keeps following me. And then as he's walking, a light starts to appear at the end of the tunnel, and it starts speeding towards him. Then it flashes in his face, and it looks like he's hit by something in his shoulder. And then an explosion happens from behind, and he gets tossed. That fire missile, it burned right through my turnout coat. That's powerful. Like his coat on one side is completely burned through. So whatever fire did this is capable of burning through the fire-resistant clothing of the Fire Force soldiers. Where's the shooter? I didn't hear a sound. The sniper must be pretty far away. And as Hina was trying to hide behind something and trying to take a peek, we see that in the darkness, it's Archer. She's all the way in the dark. Inside the darkness. Oh wait, the sniper must be pretty far away. Inside the darkness. And it's Archer.
The man with the soul-destroying flame. The Adola Burst does not belong with you. Thank you for saving us the trouble of going to get him. We will be taking him with us.
And then it shows Hinawa having this bandolier of bullets in front of him. What are you going to do with Shinra? What are you after?
Now die.
As Archer proceeds to shoot an arrow through the dark. And then we see Hinawa, who gets like a shotgun in hand, and he prepares to shoot as well. And that's the end of chapter 71. Onwards to chapter 72. 72. The Bullet's Trajectory. You hate this guy because you want Tamaki to be awesome, but when this constantly happens during every fight, so far it's hard for you to take her seriously or truly enjoy any fight she may be in. Well, you ever thought that maybe it was a joke fight? Maybe whenever they put her through this? That might be one. That might be one of the takes. Chapter 72, The Bullet's Trajectory. And then we cut to Shinra.
Inspector Licht! Am I completely cut off from the others? The enemy could appear any second. I am never lets his guard down, man. The fog is getting thinner.
Halt! As it shows a white-clad who has Inspector Licht by the throat. Has a sword to his throat. Halt!
Inspector Licht!
Not another step. Help me, Shinra. You with the Adola Burst. If you value this man's life, you will come with us. Resist and your friend dies. Shinra! The Rapid!
Huh?
The Tora hand thing! Silence! And then Shinra instantly hits the guy in the face right next to Licht. The force of the blow is enough to make Licht's hair kind of blow out to the side, because that's how fast he moves. When did he? That is some awe-inspiring speed.
Rapid, huh? That's better than Kickman kick. Did you see that? That's my Rabbit Man kick.
Come on, can't we just use Rapid by itself? Captain Shinmon's gonna nix that one too.
No, it has to have man. You know that word Shinra Bansho? Shinra Bansho? That Ban can also be pronounced man, and it connects me to show.
And, Bansho, show means creation, so, it links him there.
That's why I am calls things man.
I see. In that case, I think even ruthless old Captain Shinmon will like it. And then there's gunshots that they hear overhead. Gunshots?
Lieutenant Hinawa? The other guys must all be fighting the White Goons, and we can't let them stop us either!
And then we see bullets flying everywhere, ricocheting and bouncing off at different spots, as the firefight between Archer and Hinawa continues on. And he lets off a shot from a shotgun, and he just barely manages to duck in time as one of Archer's shots goes straight through the top part of the pillar he's hiding behind. I guess my position's been compromised. I know there's a little light over here, but that's some good eyesight to see this far. The enemy is hiding in the dark. The light from those blasts is too strong. I can't pinpoint the sniper's location. I tried scattering bullets over a wide range with a shotgun and ricochet control, but there was no sign that I hit anyone. I won't really be able to use the night vision goggles Vulcan gave me if the gunner keeps shooting those bright fireballs. There are a lot of obstacles in this area. Long range is my specialty, but maybe I should try getting closer. And as he's thinking this, Archer's shots start to get lower and lower on the pillar that he's hiding behind. And then he grabs his bandolier and starts to take off. Either way, the enemy knows where I am. I have to move. And he just takes off. And then he's in the subway. A train from the old days. Things haven't changed much in the last few centuries. I'm concerned about the fog and mirages that keep following me too. No stopping here. I'll go straight through to get to the sniper. And then we have two individuals walking up on the subway car. One of them both of them being Mirage and Yona. We will attack too when we see an opening. Well, you know, Arrow, I'm not sure we'll get to do anything. You don't want every fight of hers when she's on her own to be a joke fight. Like, I don't mind when she's in a fight and she needs help or something. That I'm fine with. We'll just have to see how things go. We're both using long-range weapons, but I have my ricochet control. If I get closer, I should have an advantage.
Did you think you could escape from my arrows in there?
And as Hinawa is running through the subway, a flash from the other side, the point where he's running towards, a flash appears, and a shot appears as well.
The opposite is true. Now you have lost your escape. Break.
As the fired shot from Archer then explodes into like this big engulfing flame that's about to kill him. Darn it! And as he tries to get out, the doors to the subway car immediately close. The train, it still runs? And then Hinawa is almost engulfed in flames. So he just lays down while he's waiting for the flames to pass over him. Because, you know, flames tend to be higher up in areas with more oxygen versus being down low. That's why they tell you to keep your head low when getting out of a fire and such. But as the flames are raging out of the subway car, he manages to get up because he's fine, though slightly burned, just a little bit. Not lasting burns, but you can see like the marks on his face. So this is your hunting ground, hey? This is your hunting ground, eh?
I never let my quarry get away.
All right, I can get back to it now.
I never let my quarry get away. I will be taking the Adola burst as well.
As she fires another shot, and this one clips Hinawa in his leg. A goon like you who can't feel the weight of a life? No, I can't let you have Shinra.
The world is in a constant state of change. In fact, a significant change draws nearer as we speak. In such a transition, there is no need for human emotions.
Sorry, bunch of extra. But back to what Archer was saying.
The world is in a constant state of change. In fact, a significant change draws near as we speak. In such a transition, there is no need for human emotions. Anyone who insists on their own ideals and the existence of a meaning to life is a fool who can't conform to the ways of the world. Whatever Shinra Kusakabe may be thinking, whatever he may want to do, it basically amounts to nothing. The evangelist needs the Adolaburst, and you will give it to me.
And then it cuts to Hinawa, who also has apparently lost his glasses. Darn it, my glasses. My vision is blurry in this obnoxious fog. When you belong to an organization, your individual emotions are no longer important. Even more so if that organization is a government or the whole world. As Hinawa was checking his leg because that shot went through his clothing as well. In our world, people burst into flames and burn to nothing. Rather than getting stuck where you are, constantly lost and confused. It's probably better for everyone if you stay indifferent and unemotional, just doing your duty as another cog in the machine. More than a few people think that, myself included. It's easier that way. Having emotions is exhausting. And then, as he's hiding behind this piece of rubble, he looks over to his left, and we see Tojo again. And why do you fight us? I don't sense his presence. He's just another mirage. I'm guessing you're trying to tick me off, but your tasteless joke is backfiring. That face reminds me of peace and goodwill. And then Hinawa opens up his bag. You say Shinra's feelings don't matter? And he gets out several gun barrels? And it looks like he's making like a rifle of some kind. You want me to hand over our soldier? You must think I'm stupid. I agree that emotions are exhausting, but... Gun barrels? And this is Mirage and Yona looking. What is he doing? Lining them up all like that. Lining them all up like that. And then it shows... Hinawa holding a whole bunch... It's showing him holding a gun, a rifle, but he's also holding multiple rifle barrels in his other hand. I just can't help getting fired up as he loads the gun. And that's the end of Chapter 72. Onwards to Chapter 73, Wearing His Pride. And then we have Yona. Oh, scarious. And then the whole area erupts in flames in front of Yona. A tremendous roar and a tremendous shockwave. What is that man firing? Because he's apparently shooting some big bullets. And then we cut to Shinra and Licht.
Inspector Licht, I'm glad you're all right.
Because it shows him, shows Shinra after he's beat up some more members of the Light Clan. Thanks, you saved my life. Still, that was some incredible speed. And as an object moves faster, its power increases too.
I think it was K equals half mv2?
I don't know the proper way to say that equation.
Kinetic energy equals mass times velocity squared over 2?
Ah! Thank you, manga, for explaining it. As you can tell, physics was not already one of my strongest subjects, even though it's an interesting subject.
I think it was kinetic energy equals mass times velocity squared over 2? Was that the formula?
Yes, and while we're on the subject, Lieutenant Hinawa's abilities are incredible too. He can use his velocity control to make bullets go fast enough to produce more power than you'd ever believe. And we cut back to Hinawa again, as he's holding his gun. Of course, such a tremendous force has a huge recoil, but he can control that with his powers too. Lieutenant Hinawa could face off against a tank and be an even match, as it shows Hinawa aiming his gun, and then he shoots, and the blast is so monstrous that the shockwave completely envelops the tunnel that they're in. That's how big the shot is. Whew. Sorry, I thought I had to mute again. But Hinawa fires, lets off a gigantic shockwave, and then we see that the end of the barrel of his rifle is completely burnt. Like the rifle end is just completely melted and split open. Then we get Hinawa in the hallway. Wait, not in the hallway. Sorry. Then we get Hinawa taking out the barrel. They're just standard 7.62 by 51 millimeter bullets, but accelerated to their maximum velocity. Even if I don't score a direct hit, the ultra-high speed will make a sonic boom that can do some serious damage.
That one shot was powerful enough to break the barrel. That's why he got out so many, so he could trade them out.
He's like a cannon. Will Arrow be okay? Sorry, not Archer, Arrow. Even though they called her Archer at first. But will Arrow be okay? And then it shows a shot firing through the fog, and it's from Arrow. And it hits right in front of Hinawa. But it also shows Arrow as she's been damaged by the shockwave as well, because she has like a little blood going over the side of her face, and she has apparent scuff marks shown on her from the damage of the shockwave. Then she gets hit by Hinawa's shockwave again, but then she fires another shot, and then Hinawa gets hit. It's a trading of shots between the two, where Archer's getting hit, Hinawa's getting hit, but neither one are conceding. Unfortunately, though, however, Hinawa has a limited amount of barrels. But he gets knocked backwards, but while he's rolling, he aims once more, and then proceeds to fire at Arrow once again, which Yona takes note of, and he almost shakes as the whole area envelops in like concussive smoke and sound and wind. I thought we'd wait for an opening and finish him off, but that would be like jumping between two tanks. And as this happens, another flash happens, and both Hinawa and Archer get hit by each other's rounds. Arrow gets knocked over. I'm sorry, I'm just so used to saying it now. Arrow gets knocked over, and Hinawa gets knocked over. I'm all out of energy. My vision's going too. It's like my eyelids are pasted over. Or like my eyelids are pasted over my eyeballs. My consciousness is fading. Through the dust and darkness of the underground, through the dust and darkness of the underground, the only thing I can make out anymore is the overpowering stench of gunpowder. I wonder how the other sniper is doing. And it shows Arrow. It shows Arrow who manages to get back up again, even though she's, heavily damaged like Hinawa is. In a world where people burst into flames and life is snuffed out without warning, becoming indifferent about your own life is another way of devoting yourself to that world. My own death won't make any. And then Hinawa feels the Company 8 logo on his clothes. Darn it, Company 8. Making me a lieutenant when we barely have a full company. I'm afraid to leave Captain Obi in charge by himself. If I die, who will look after our soldiers? As Hinawa gets one more barrel loaded in, and he stands up in the fog. The reason you couldn't finish me off is that your first shot hit the wrong arm. My left arm still has the Company 8 insignia on it. As Arrow fires her shot, and Hinawa, in the nice looking single panel here at the bottom of this page, and you see his eye wide open. Psycho, good to see you. His eyes wide open, and he fires, and he completely destroys the barrel. He completely destroys the barrel as the shot fires, and it shows it going right directly underneath Arrow's shot. I can use my enemy's flame to make it go even faster. Velocity rampage! And all we see is the shocked face of Arrow as she gets hit completely by this blast. And she is rendered unconscious right then and there. The shockwave goes through the hall, and the shot goes through. The shot goes past her and it hits her. And she gets blasted by it. But then we have the shockwave that goes after that shot, and it completely engulfs her. The whole tunnel gets engulfed in this gigantic shockwave. And then we have Hinawa against the wall. I'm pretty spent. I don't think I'll be moving for a while. Ultimately, I don't think the kids will follow me with this whole mind over matter thing. Then it shows Yona and Mirage walking up to Hinawa. You're the ones behind the fog and mirages, so you've finally come out of hiding, cowards.
Striking in a moment of weakness is basic battle strategy. Arrow did what was required.
I don't know why this thing is asking for permission for my stream deck again, even though I've already given it permission literally before the stream happened. It gets annoying after a while when it does that.
Striking in a moment of weakness is basic battle strategy. Arrow did what was required.
And then Hinawa doesn't say anything.
How does it feel facing death at the hands of the man you mocked as a coward? You have no energy left to fight me. Allow me to end this.
And then Hinawa takes a bullet, like a regular bullet, and he tosses over to some flames. And as he tosses it over, he uses those flames to cause his bullet to go straight through this mirage as it lands into the roof, lands into the ceiling right behind this mirage of mirage.
What a pity. That was a mirage too.
It was a stronger effect for a final struggle. It was a strong effect for a final struggle, but it doesn't mean anything if you don't hit your target.
Now die.
And then Hina was just looking at him, and then he goes, oh, I hit what I was aiming for, as we hear a ticking sound. And out of this rubble, we see someone with like a little bit of a top knot standing up out of the rubble. And that's the end of chapter 73. Onwards to chapter 74, The Flash of a Blade. And then we see someone preparing to get out of the rubble behind Yona and Mirage.
That head.
Is it human? As the rubble gets burst off, and it turns out, it's Arthur!
I descend from the heavens and rise from the earth. I traverse both land and sky. I am a knight.
And this is when Hinawa, we go back in time just a couple seconds before, and Hinawa's looking up, and we see someone peering through the hole.
I hear a loud noise down there. What was it?
Because Arthur had no idea what was going on down below him. But Hinawa noticed him immediately, and then destroyed the ceiling, the flooring that Arthur was on, and made him fall right down in there. I saw him watching us from the ceiling, so I shot him down.
Then the summoner who called the champion down to earth was you, Lieutenant?
I assume I don't have to tell you what's going on.
No, his face is no longer hidden, but I know him as the knave I saw at Vulcan's workshop.
Mirage, you handle this, as Yona scurries off.
I brought you down with my illusions before, and I can do it again.
As the whole area just fills with fog, and numerous shadows are in the fog meant to trick Arthur.
Just a one-trick pony, are you?
This one trick has always been enough to finish everything. Die! As Mirage comes up right behind Arthur. And Mirage is surprised to see that Arthur doesn't flinch when this fake Mirage phases through him.
He didn't even flinch.
And then Arthur takes out his sword.
I didn't feel the weight of any life in that attack.
And then we cut back to when Arthur was training with Conro and Benimaru.
On the battlefield, you need to feel the life around you. If you do, then the tension won't get you as bad.
And it shows Arthur fighting with Conro.
Don't be fooled by feints and distractions. Figure out which attacks are really coming for you.
And then we cut back to the present.
Focus, feel the life, and the tension won't get to you. I am a new me. I have gained the abilities of a samurai. I am multi-classing. I am a knight samurai.
As he's holding on to his sword like he's a samurai.
Wait, focus. If I'm a knight samurai, that would turn me into a samurai. So what does that mean? Oh, of course, it's the other way around. I am a samurai knight.
As he's still gripping onto his sword. And he's just standing there in this fog. And then we cut back to Conroe. Your kinetic eyesight is too good. That may be why you tend to be tricked by small movements in the things that you see. And it shows another mirage coming up and slicing through Arthur, but it's just a mirage. What you see with your eyes isn't everything. And then we cut to Mirage. Again, he doesn't flinch. Maybe he was only pretending he can see through my illusions when really he was taking a gamble, hoping I would test the waters with mirages first. In that case, if I send this many at him, surely he'll assume that one of them is real, as it shows many mirages swirling all around Arthur in this fog. But they are all illusions. They're all fake. And Arthur isn't moving an inch. He is unfazed by all these mirages. Then he's just standing there while all these mirages go through him in an attempt to get him to, respond. But he ain't. Then we come back to Benimaru. A real attack, the kind that's trying to kill you, has its own distinct breath. You want to look for that breath of life? See? It's like this, stupid! As Benimaru kicks Arthur in the face. And then we're back to the present with Arthur again. The breath of an attack that wants my life. The breath of life. And Mirage is steadily watching as Arthur is just not being fazed by these mirages. Still hiding in the fog. I refuse to get anywhere near you until you let my mirages distract you and you give me an opening. The second I see that opening, my throwing knife will leap from the shadows to finish you. But first, as he takes a knife, he takes a knife and prepares to throw it, but Arthur notices and goes, the breath of life! And he unsheaths his sword and slices. There you are! And he slices so widely, like the slash of it parts the fog instantly. And it's just a massive cut through the fog. And it just barely avoids Hinawa's head. Darn it! You want to kill me just because I was breathing? Huh. Don't get ahead of yourself. I am a samurai knight. As even though Arthur sliced through the fog and almost hit Lieutenant Hinawa, he slices straight through the pillar that Hinawa was leaned up against. And what we see next is the same knife Mirage was holding dropping to the ground. As we see someone who was actually hiding behind that pillar slowly slumping over. As Arthur has not only sliced through the pillar, but he's also downed Mirage in one go as well. Impossible! He wasn't after me. He was sneaking through the fog to stab you. He is a knave through and through. And Mirage is down for the count. Can you stand? Well done. Where's the other one? The knave abandoned all comrades and fled. But what was up with that face? Was it even human? As he's referring to the face of Yona. The face did look sculpted, but what could it be other than human? Anyway, we need to find the others. Okay, lead the way. And then we cut back to the tunnels where Lisa and Giovanni are fighting Obi and Vulcan. We haven't seen them since the first chapter of this volume. You non-powereds don't stand a chance against us. As Obi and Vulcan are wrapped up in feelers. Lisa! And Lisa is unresponsive. And that is the end of chapter 74. Onwards to chapter 75, The Pride of a Fire Soldier. And if I remember correctly, 75, 76, 77, 78. We're getting close. We're getting close. And Obi goes, Lisa, don't! Lisa, don't! In this world, plagued by spontaneous human combustion, the helpless non-powereds have no choice but to die. But Lisa, she awakened to her powers through her compatibility with the bugs.
My parents died in an infernal fire. I had been afraid of fire ever since, but the bug awakened me. and my fear vanished.
So, I completely forgot that Lisa wasn't born a pyrokinetic. This was a result of her being subjected to the same thing Rekka was trying to subject those kids to 2 volumes ago. I want to say it's 2 volumes. It might be 3 volumes. She survived. She's one of those survivors of having a bug injected into her, and she gained fire powers. I forgot that that's how she got them. They're lying to you, Lisa. I'm a non-powered just like you were. And as for the fear of fire, working as a fire soldier. Gotta go, you got D&D. Make sure to finish watching this after you get back. Enjoy! May the rolls be ever in your favor. And as for the fear of fire, working as a fire soldier, as he tosses out another one of those sound grenades, I felt it firsthand, and he dissipates the fire tentacles that were wrapped around them. And then Obi starts rummaging around in his cloak, and he takes out the fire axe. Dr. Giovanni has taken advantage of your weakness. He's just using you, says the man who's brandishing an axe at her. This is for you! As Obi tries to aim for Dr. Giovanni, but Lisa slaps him away. Don't do this, Lisa! He's not worth protecting!
The tentacles I wear react to magnetism. They move to protect me automatically. The flames I once feared now keep me safe from harm.
What is this bug? What did this do to Lisa? I don't really know, but apparently if you aren't compatible with it, it turns you into an infernal. Are you curious? You've heard the saying, like a moth to a flame, yes? You know that insects will willingly approach a flame even though it will kill them. They call this the insect's true photoaxis. This phenomenon has yet to be sufficiently explained by science. There are many mysteries surrounding it. Don't you think this strange relationship between insects and fire has something to do with SHC? And then Dr. Giovanni's chest starts to expand as Obi looks, and we see Dr. Giovanni has created a giant secondary mouth. A giant secondary mouth that screams, I won't tell you! And then it just closes real quick and it's all quiet, like this man didn't just have an outburst, like everything's supposed to be treated normal. It's all like, I won't tell you! And then we're supposed to be all like serious again. Like, no, you can't just have a giant mouth burst out of your cloak, screaming, I won't tell you stuff, and then just close it back like, you didn't just do that. Huh? What you think this is? You will all die in complete ignorance. And then Obi just gets out a fire extinguisher. You're getting on my nerves, old man. And he tries to hit Giovanni, but then Lisa uses her tentacles to block it. And as one of the tentacles slaps straight close to Obi, Lisa goes,
Do you think that little extinguisher can put out my flames?
Obi continues as the tentacles continue to hit him. Gah! 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 It won't work, Captain. I don't care. And then he gets hit center mass by one of these tentacles.
Are you even taking this seriously?
Oh, I'm serious. You said those fire tentacles keep you safe, but from where I stand, all I see is someone trapped inside the flames. Are they really protecting you? And it shows the tentacles that even though she says they're there to protect her, it's almost as if they're keeping her caged in, because they're not aimed at Obi, they're aimed towards her. They're surrounding her. They don't give that sense of like they're there to protect her. Not like Gara San. It's like that.
How can you ask that? This power released me from my grief and my fear.
If those fire feelers are really protecting you, then why do you look so nervous?
I'm not nervous.
As she causes her fire tentacles to hit near Obi again.
You don't know me.
And then Obi progresses forward. Our job is to put out fires. And he gets hit over the head, and then he gets knocked back by the tentacles on his back. You're a fool. Fire extinguishers have no place on the field of battle. Then Obi gets right back up because this man is just tough. You used to be a fire soldier too, didn't you? You know what a dangerous scene looks like. A fire soldier's motto is to protect human life and property. Anything that helps with that has a place on the field. As he slams the fire extinguisher right in front of him. And then Lisa's kind of quiet. And then Giovanni goes, do it.
Yes.
As Lisa slams Obi into a wall.
Naivete can be fatal. It's pointless to throw away your own life in your obsession with saving others.
You know, believe it or not, I wouldn't waste my own life. I came prepared to save you, Lisa. Sorry to keep you waiting. As he clicks this detonator, and then something apparently explodes in front of Lisa, and it douses Lisa, whatever it is. That's an extinguishing grenade. Darn you, Obi. You were letting her hit you, so you could plant one of those in each of her feelers. And Lisa, having all of her feelers dissipated, falls towards the ground with no way to catch herself.
I'm so far off the ground. Dr. Giovanni, I'm falling. I've lost everything. My parents, Dad, Mom.
And before she hits the ground, who saves her but Vulcan? And he's just smiling, looking at her. And then Obi just props up his mask and goes, see, even without fire powers, there's someone right here ready to protect you. And then Vulcan is just wiping some extinguisher fluid off her face, and he's just smiling. And then Lisa's just crying. She's just tearful eyes. She goes,
Vulcan!
And then it cuts back to Giovanni, who's looming over Lisa, going, I think you're getting something very wrong, feeler. Then Giovanni is drawn in such a scary, like ominous, like Slenderman-like tone here, as if he's looming over Lisa. And that's the end of chapter 75. Onwards to 76. Sticking to your guns. And we're in a tunnel again, and we're with Tamaki and Iris.
Another fork in the road.
Because they've reached a fork in the road.
This Nether is bad news. It's so confusing. Which way should we go? There on the left. I see a light.
And then that light turns into two lights.
Huh? I think it's getting closer. Eyes?
And then they look like eyes that's swirling in fire.
Demon! Who are you calling a gorilla cyclops?
As it turns out that it was Maki who was making her way through that. And those flames...
I never said that!
Goes Iris.
Wait, Maki-san? Then what were those demon eyes?
Sputter and flare.
Those were the lights.
Maki-san!
Okay, there.
Maki-san came from the left, so if we go this way...
To the right. And then it cuts to Maki.
We have to hurry and join the others. If I know Company 8, they'll be fine.
Then we go back to Lisa and Giovanni. Feeler. As Giovanni is standing there. Who was it that freed you from your fear of the flames? In fact, if it weren't for me, you would never have gotten to live with Vulcan. Surely you haven't forgotten how much you owe me. Come back here! And as Vulcan has his hand on Lisa's shoulder, she starts to get up. Lisa.
I have no choice. Dr. Giovanni gave to me when I had nothing. I can't betray him.
Sure you can. This man's trying to kill the people you care about. Yes, you can. You can betray him. You can. You're free. You are free to betray a person if they try to kill the ones you love. You are free to turn your back on them. You don't owe them jack. You can. Sure you can. You can just go. You can leave. You don't owe them nothing if they try to murder your loved ones. You don't. You can leave. You can go. What you mean? You ain't got no soul tie. What is this? What you mean? What you mean? I can't betray him. What you mean? Who said? Who made up the rule? You've cared for me for 28 years. Now you're trying to kill the people that I've grown to love and cherish. All because you tell me to. And now they're coming to save me. And when they save me, I go back to you because I owe you stuff. No! That agreement gets null and void when you try to murder people. Okay? You don't owe nobody nothing if that person tries to harm you or kill anyone that you know and love or care about. That agreement is null and void. You just voided the contract by trying to kill Vulcan, you, and everyone else at his workshop earlier. You voided the contract. You don't need to worry about back pay. You ain't got to worry about her fulfilling her end of the bargain. She don't owe you jack. But unfortunately, Lisa does not see this. I'm sorry, I had to go off on that rant there. Because what she said was like, yes, you can betray him.
Dr. Giovanni gave to me when I had nothing. I can't betray him.
Yes, you can. If a person were to give me $1 million and then they let me use that for whatever I want and they never assume that I have to pay it back to them, and then they just start going off the handle and they go to jail, don't expect me to bail you out. You in the wrong. That's how that is. I don't owe you nothing. I don't owe you nothing. As soon as you start doing bad stuff, I don't owe you jack.
Just forget about me.
And as she's saying this, a cord loops around her and grabs her by the neck. And then it shows that it's Giovanni who has completely grabbed Lisa, and we can see under his cloak as he has arms, but also tons of different mechanical parts that are just underneath there. I don't even know what this guy looks like under his cloak. I can't wait to see. I think I remember like the second season of the anime where it showed a little bit of Dr. Giovanni's body, but we will cross that bridge when we get to it. I'm not going to talk about things that happen in later seasons that I haven't reached in the manga, so I'm just going to say that. Giovanni! Don't move, or these heated wires will burn through her neck. As the wires get tighter and tighter and tighter around her, almost choking her. Matter of fact, it's actually starting to burn so hot that it's cutting off her hair. No! And then a gun flies out from Giovanni. Vulcan, if you want to save her, you'll do as I say. Take that gun and shoot Obi. How rotten can you be? Rejoice, Feeler. This is what you've always wanted. Your life is being used effectively in the service of the evangelist. Vulcan, do what he says. And Vulcan is just looking at Obi with the gun in hand. And then he aims it at Obi while still keeping an eye on Giovanni. I'm sorry. Don't be. Shoot him now. There's no time. Hem and haw all you like, but in the end you either shoot him or you don't. If you shoot him, Feeler will be saved. If you don't, Lisa will die. That's all. I swear I'm gonna kill you! Really? Then you may watch as these heated wires lop her head off. Vulcan, shoot! Shoot me and save Lisa! Then we get a flashback with Vulcan and Obi inside Cathedral 8. Take a look at this, Captain. I made you some new equipment. Iron Mandillo magnetic extinguishing balls, and the tech I made for Maki-san. Thanks. We're going to be seeing a lot more danger from here out. This equipment you're making is going to save lives. I really appreciate this. My policy is to make things that won't break, which means I don't want people getting hurt either, even if the stuff I make can be weird. I train every day, but there's only so much you can do with just flesh and bones. I became a fire soldier so I could see Lisa again. But since I am Company 8's engineer now, I want to help keep everyone safe. I can't hurt you! As we cut back to the present where Vulcan refuses to shoot Obi. Then it's curtains for Lisa. Shoot me, Vulcan! He's going to kill Lisa! That's no reason to. Then it shows Vulcan walking straight up to Obi, putting the gun to his chest and going, "Darn it all!" and shooting straight through Obi, who then falls to the ground. You would shoot a superior officer just to protect a woman, Vulcan. And then the ropes unloosen from Lisa's neck, though they unfortunately have left a burn mark around it. And she's coughing, gasping for air. Lisa, Captain. And then Obi gets up. And he's holding onto the Obi gets up because he's fine. And he holds onto the railing and he goes, I knew I'd be fine, but dang, that was scary! Huh? And using his monstrous strength, he rips up the railway. Now, here's the thing about railways. They are built with this distinct purpose of not only holding the weight of entire trains, but also being so secure that a train being on the railway will not dislodge it and therefore cause an accident. So the fact that this man, Obi, just literally ripped an entire railway out of its foundation, out of its foundation, and just launches it into the air along with Giovanni. How are you that strong? And then more mechanical parts come out of Dr. Giovanni's cloak. That turncoat isn't supposed to be bulletproof. You must have had extra protection. Do you want to know? Do you, Giovanni? I won't tell you. Oh, I love how he just threw those words right back at Giovanni, where Giovanni was like, would you like to know about spontaneous human combustion? The purpose of the evangelist? Yada, yada, yada. I won't tell you. And now Obi said, like, do you want to know how I survived? I won't tell you. I love it when characters do that in series. It's a physical attack-proof vest. I'm Company 8's engineer. I'm Company 8's engineer. I'm not going to send our captain out totally undefended. Oops. I told him. No, it's okay. He's just really annoying. Still, that was reckless of you. It's our trust for each other that makes us a team. Trust? A nonsensical concept that can't be explained by science. As it shows a whole array of different weapons popping out from Giovanni's cloak. Missiles and guns and exposed arms and blades and needles. What's the purpose of the syringe? Huh? What's the purpose of the syringe being in there? What's wrong with your mech? It's a mess. Grandpa would be horrified. Equip Penguin Met as a helmet starts to form over Vulcan's face, and it's in the shape of a penguin. That machinery of yours needs a strength test, as he headbutts Giovanni, and it causes him to rip straight through Giovanni. Well, it causes him to, like, headbutt straight into Giovanni. He headbutts Giovanni. I thought he was using his beak to cut it, but no, he was headbutting Giovanni with such force that it shatters all those little appendages he was planning on using against Obi and company. And that is the end of chapter 76. Well, yeah, chapter 76. Onwards to chapter 77, Connection. And as Giovanni gets launched backwards, as Vulcan lands safely on the ground, it retracts as he goes, "That's some weak mech you're making there." As all those mechanical appendages retract back into his cloak again. Lisa. It's okay. You did good. As it shows Obi running with a whole chunk of railway. He's just holding it. He's going to use that as a weapon. He's just going to use that as a weapon. He's just holding it, and he's just going to use it as a weapon. Do you realize how heavy just one singular piece of metal on a railway is? More than your average person would normally use as your average person would normally see as light enough to use as a weapon. And Obi is just picking up multiple tracks, like holding like 1, 2, 3, 4. Mind you, railways tend to be a combination of wood and metal. Wood itself can be heavy. I know because I've lifted a ton of wood over the years of me working in retail. So imagine how heavy wood is attached to metal, and that same structure was meant to be embedded in the ground to support a full-length train. Obi's just using that as a weapon now. It's like it's nothing. People in Fire Force are ridiculous. Okay. But he picks up the piece of railway and he goes, "It's okay. You did good." And then Giovanni opens his cloak and it looks like he has his regular clothes underneath. "You're managing surprisingly well for weaklings with no powers." And then Obi, this is a long railway. This This is a whole entire railway. You mean to tell me all that strength, that ridiculous strength training he does, lets him do this? I need to up my workout game a little if that's the case. But he's clashing with Giovanni. You used to be a fire soldier. You were meant to protect people from the flames. Why would you go around making infernals? What does your evangelist hope to accomplish by doing that? You said that the fire soldier's motto is protect human life and property, yes? Do you have any idea how trivial those things are? People complicate things because they have those unwieldy emotions. Look at the big picture. Humans are just another part of the world's energy. And if something is that insignificant, it should burn and become a part of the planet. Cultic hooey! As he knocks away Giovanni. Approximately 200 years ago, the great cataclysm befell the Earth. It was caused by an enormous Adola burst eruption, and the source of that Adola burst is a place in which you have already put your faith. Humankind has feared this place since before the solar era began, since long, long before the great cataclysm. Whatever caused it, it's our job to stop SHC, as he continues to fight against Giovanni. You're not making a good case for burning people alive! And as he jabs the railway into the ground, he climbs it like a ladder at high speeds. Those are train tracks, not a hook and ladder truck. SHC is a part of the natural order. Would you defy the laws of nature? Your bugs are man-made! As Obi jumps off, like he from the top rope, he jumps off of this man-made ladder and just elbow drops Giovanni, just right then and there, and squishes him. But Obi gets off of Giovanni before Giovanni can activate these very razor-sharp propeller blades. Do you think the evangelist is an ordinary human like you? Not human? So what? The evangelist is a god or something? Either way, your evangelist is just some idol you heretics have built up for yourselves to worship. Honestly, what a foolish thought. We worship an idol? Then what about the great sun god of the Holy Soul Temple? What meaning is there in offering prayers that you don't know will be granted to a god you don't know exists? And isn't it true that you believe your Emperor Raffles III is a reincarnation of your god? Say what you want, but the Holy Soul Temple doesn't go around roasting people. The evangelist is no mere idol. Well, thank you for so politely explaining the evangelist's secrets. A powerless man like you cannot possibly understand the essence of the evangelist. Although, I suppose Shinra Kusakabe may be starting to feel that essence. And then we cut to Shinra and Lit. Shinra-kun? Are you okay? Is this an Adola Link? Shinra! Are you having an Adola Link? You're experiencing an Adola Link, right? And Licht is getting very excited as we cut to how Shinra feels, and it's almost like he's in a trance as he's picturing being in a sea of flames with numerous bones and flaming bones in this entire landscape. And as he's standing there, Shinra doesn't even know what's going on.
Where am I?
And then a body comes up out of the flames. It starts to piece itself together, and then it's this creature with horns coming out of its eyes. Then we see what looks to be like something of an eclipse, as this creature's holding is almost touching Shinra, with him going,
Who are you? Who are you?
and this creature is still looking at him and smiling. And then it cuts to him. Oh, you gotta be kidding. Hold on. Okay. This creature's looking at him, smiling, and it has horns coming out of its eyes. Then it shows an eclipse with Shinra going,
Who are you?
and then the creature is still looking at him smiling, and then it cuts to his mom, with his mom going,
Shinra.
and then her being engulfed in flames and burned away right before his eyes. And then it shows Shinra as a kid, and him looking into the flames as a kid when the fire took his whole family, and him seeing this horned figure standing through the flames. Then he remembers standing there with Captain Burns from Company 1. Then we see a clawed hand. Then we see a member of Company 4 getting slashed across the face, who would later become, getting slashed across the face. Then it shows Sho, and then a young Shinra looking at Sho going,
Show.
and it shows these hands like all around. It shows these hands all around Sho. It shows these hands all around Sho, and then it shows Sho touching Shinra's nose. Then it shows this eclipse, and as this eclipse is right above Shinra and Sho, it shows like this clawed hand making its way down to him. And then we're back in the present. And then we cut to Shinra.
Yeah.
Shinra. 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 Shinra! Are you okay, Shinra?
What was I? Huh?
As we see steps in front of Shinra, but they are not normal human footprints. They are not normal human footprints.
There it is again. The devil's footprints.
As they are walking away from Shinra. What's wrong? Do you see something?
He's here. Up ahead. Show.
And that is the end of chapter 77. Onwards to chapter 78. And that's the last chapter of this volume. We're making good time, everybody. Chapter 78, Brother to Brother. And it shows, and it has some images with Sho sitting inside the Evangelist room by himself. He gives me such Virgil vibes. I may play Devil May Cry later. But Shinra and Licht continue on. Commander Sho is up ahead. Shouldn't we go find the rest of Company 8?
We don't know which way will take us back. All we can do is go forward. I have to go. I have to follow this path.
And as Shinra's stepping, he gets like a tingle in his legs again.
This throbbing in my feet has been going non-stop. My blood is boiling inside me like magma. I see these weird footprints, eerie black footprints, like I'm looking into the bowels of the earth. I don't know where they're trying to lead me, but I can't ignore them. It's really getting to me. All I can feel is dread, but I can't stop myself from following them.
As he's literally following where these footprints are going.
I can't stop myself from following!
As Shinra just continues to walk forward, completely oblivious to Licht standing around him. And then Licht starts to get kind of either excited sweats or nervous sweats. I understand, Shinra. The mystery of the Adolabers is up ahead. You can't help going down that path. And then we get to the end of the hallway where a big ornate door is. With Licht going, I didn't expect to see something like this underground. And it's not that old.
This is it! Let's go!
Wait, Shinra! What are you going to do when you see your brother? Try to talk to him? You don't know if he'll listen. He's the commander of the Knights of the Ashen Flame. He'll turn into a fight.
I know. He didn't really seem like the reasoning type. For now, I guess I'll just beat the crud out of him and bring him back with me.
Yes, because that worked out so well for Naruto when he fought Sasuke the first time. Do you sense anything?
Yeah, he's definitely in there.
And then Shinra gulps, opens the door, and Sho is just in that room. Sho is just in that room, just sitting down.
I knew you'd come, Shinra Kusakabe. Of course! I'm here to take you home, just like I promised! Promised? Promised whom? Our mom! Mining yours. I have no mother. The only mother figure I have is the evangelist. The mere thought that you and I are brothers makes me want to vomit. I don't recall emerging from such a filthy wound.
And this angers Shinra. And Shinra's already in front of Sho. You know how Sho blitzed him before? Shinra is right there in front of him with his hand on his shoulder going,
"Don't talk about Mom like that!"
And even Sho is surprised about how fast Shinra just moved.
That was fast. Shinra, you can't just go showing him the rapid. Anyway, there are 2 people right in front of me who have the Adulabers. This is the best!
As Licht can't wait to see what happens when 2 people with Adolabursts interact with one another. And then Sho slaps away Shinra's hand. And then he immediately tries to hit Shinra with his hilt, but Shinra blocks it. Then he tries to hit him with his scabbard, but Shinra dodges. And then Shinra uses his speed to blitz Sho. And he hits Sho, but on his sword, and he causes Sho to skid away.
So you're not interested in a nice long chat?
And then Sho blitzes him, and then Shinra, using his rapid, dodges over Sho, grabs him by his clothes, and tries to flip him over. But when that happens, Sho, using that same momentum, tries to hit him. This is literally how Virgil would behave if he was fighting Dante. Anything Dante did, he would just easily flip around it and then use that same momentum to try and launch another attack at Dante. But he flips over and tries to hit Shinra with his sword again, with his scabbard again, but Shinra dodges away. And then Sho steps, and he's right there in front of Shinra, but they're keeping up with each other. Both of them are moving at the same speed.
I'm impressed, Shinra! You're too fast for him! I managed to get the upper hand. I can do this!
And then it cuts to Shinra noticing that Sho is breathing.
This breath. This is a real attack. He's trying to kill me! Under his cape, he's drawing his sword!
And Shinra manages to dodge out of the way before Sho can actually hit him with his actual blade.
Huh. You saw that too, eh?
Wow, this is amazing! You're doing it! You're doing it! And then it shows a whole area just silent, but completely is silent with like feathers falling all around Shinra. And Shinra's looking, and then we see Licht smiling, and we show Sho gripping onto his sword, and then getting it in hand. As he moves his sword, and a blast hits Shinra in his side and knocks him to the side. This is Sho moved faster than everything. Immediately. This is Sho using having a Quicksilver moment. And the next thing we see is Shinra getting knocked to the side, square into a pillar with enough force to actually crumble the pillar right behind him. As we're looking at Sho, and even Licht is looking at him going,
Huh? What was that? Super speed?
No, it's not even in that dimension.
It was like he stopped time! How in the world can you use ignition powers to do that?
And it just shows Sho standing there with, residual flame and dust marks right behind him. To be continued in Volume 10. And that's the final chapter of Volume 9 of Fire Force, ladies and gentlemen. We got some translator notes, and then I can call it a session here today. Translation notes. Canaries in the Coal Mine, page 9. We're really making good time with these volumes. They're not taking too long. More literally, Hibana says that Company 8 has been turned into food tasters, servants whose job it is to taste food before an important leader eats it, to make sure it hasn't been poisoned. But because the Nether is underground, the translators felt it would be appropriate to make an allusion to the old practice, ancient by Hibana's time, of taking caged birds into a mine to test for safety. If the mine was filled with poison gas, the canary, as a small creature, would be more sensitive to the poison and die first, thus alerting the miners to the danger. Horse and Deer, page 87. As the reader can see, both of these helmets are marked with the names of a noble animal. As it would happen in Japanese, when the characters for horse and deer are put together in that order, they represent the word baka, meaning stupid. Baka. This may come from a Chinese tale about an infamous eunuch who tested people's loyalty to him by pointing at a deer and calling it a horse. Those who disagreed and said it was a deer were punished. Or it may simply mean that a fool cannot tell the difference between a horse and a deer. Regardless of the etymology, these two helmets together were clearly meant for Arthur. EI Caliber! Again. Wait a minute. Did I miss the moment where Arthur used like a brand new attack? I did. He literally said, this is when he defeated Mirage. He calls it EI Caliber. Wow, I completely disregarded those words right over his head. My apology. This is a new attack by Arthur, and it's an incredibly devastating one. EI Caliber. EI Caliber, page 100. Ooh, exactly page 100. Again, Arthur is combining his newfound training with his first love. Nice. Iaido is a Japanese martial art that is the study of conscious-aware swordsmanship that especially has to do with the act of pulling the sword from the scabbard. Here, Arthur is combining the tactic with his plasma sword Excalibur, and so also folds the name into the attack. And then Kyukyu Noritsuro Suryo. Kyukyu Noritsuro, page 190. This is a phrase asking to quickly obey an order. It originated in Japan, where it was attached to official documents, but later came to be used. Grammar. That's just how it says it. It says it later came to be used by exorcists in dispelling evil spirits. It is mostly particularly associated with Taoist spiritualists known as Onmyoji, or Onmyo mages. Wriggle Wriggle Wrigley Field, page 190. The place referenced in the original Japanese is not quite so close to Wrigley Field. The Japanese sound for wriggling is kone kone, and so the sound effect became kone kone Connecticut. And that's it for the translator notes for Volume 10, ladies and gentlemen. We are done with reading Fire Force for today. So all I can say to everyone is that firstly, thank you for enjoying these Fire Force read-throughs that I've been doing. I can't wait to get to the halfway mark and then see what else this story has in store. And I'm really looking forward to the day when I read past the chapters that stop on the second season of the anime. Really looking forward to it. But to everyone right here, right now, that's all I have for you today. So I hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Like, comment, subscribe, even become a member, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day. And once again, as always, later, peoples.